In the last video, we touched on the abuses of the K-pop industry and consistent discussions on how the genre has been labeled boring by its fans. It only makes sense that the next video would shine a light on a group that has always prioritized versatility and real, raw talent, that being STAYC. STAYC is a six-member K-pop group under Hi-Up Entertainment. They debuted on November 12th of 2020 with the first single album, Start to a Young Culture, which consisted of two songs, lead single So Bad and B-side Like This. Their debut was moderately successful with its retro concept and colorful visuals, and captured many people's attention. Small controversies would present themselves, but all in all, STAYC would continue to grow and get better with every comeback, both artistically and commercially. Their highest point in terms of views, streams, etc. was with Stereotype and the first mini-album of the same name, with Run to You and the second mini-album YoungLove.com not far behind. Over time, however, beginning with the release of the track Beautiful Monster and the third single album We Need Love, the interest of the general public in STAYC would gradually decline. At a rapid rate, though. Some felt that their cute, bright concept had grown almost childish, while others felt that their title tracks were not high quality anymore. Overall, there was some considerable discourse surrounding the group's creative decisions and approach to music. STAYC expanded their color to be slightly more mature and out of the ordinary for their style, with the first full album, Metamorphic, maintaining the colorful nature they were known for previously, with a chic summer twist. The album ended up being the lowest performance STAYC had ever experienced. But how? It's a consistent discussion among K-pop fans that the genre isn't as fun anymore. Artists aren't as daring, willing to break boundaries, or at the very least, stay true to their own identity and embrace the sound they've become known for. So how can a group like STAYC, who does just that, have people turn their back on them and let them fly under the radar? It's simple. This is the curse of the acronym that STAYC's name is, Star to a Young Culture. The K-pop system relies heavily on the dopamine rush, to an extent anyway. Even in industries outside of music, when the audience you are targeting is at a critical point in their youth where they are developing their own interests and becoming difficult to influence and subdue, the best advertising point is dopamine, the feeling of joy, happiness, and satisfaction. Now, of course, this feeling is temporary. So, what do? You keep pumping out content to give people that rush and that energy so that they keep on coming back for more, of course, even if they're slowly damaging themselves in the process. Maybe this is why songs like Gnarly by Cat's Eye and Catalina by Orange Caramel end up finding their audience and becoming successful. Obviously, these songs have significant subtext and underlying meaning, but the visual of being wrapped in plastic and dressed in eccentric costumes with bold makeup and lamenting about being jealous of others in their mansions is enough to captivate someone in interest, confusion, and/or laughter that it goes on repeat regardless of what the song says. What does this have to do with STAYC? Catering to a young culture while being unwilling to subject themselves to the characteristics of that culture is their pitfall. They know their sound and have an established identity. Their most experimental releases are still polished and are an expansion of their sound rather than a complete rejection. Everything is put together with intention. The music industry of today doesn't call for that, and groups like STAYC naturally flow in and then right back out of the mainstream. Today's popular groups have gotten popular by either using the exact same formula so consistently that every release blends into a melting pot of sound, playing it safe and staying comfortable, or being so experimental that they never actually establish a groundwork, hanging on to reach and payola for longevity. So, how exactly can STAYC regain their popularity and skyrocket to fame, you ask? Honestly, I don't know. There are many other groups in similar positions to STAYC, groups who established their identities on versatility and either couldn't pull it off well or succumbed to a shift in the general public's perception that they couldn't recover from. Some examples of these kinds of groups would be ITZY, IVE, and most recently aespa. Note that none of these groups are necessarily unpopular, and they haven't hit rock bottom, but they are prime examples as to how fans turn away from a lack of innovation, or frankly, too much of it. It's up to the consumers. How do you think we'll move forward? Will we rebuild our appreciation for real artistry, strong branding, and a clear vision? Or will we sacrifice substance for elasticity and convenience culture? Only time will tell. Thank you for tuning into Mocha Jelly. I'll be back with more soon.